appreciate that. I slid their ticket face down onto the table and headed for another table. The cowbell on the door jangled, and I turned my head to see Maud Stilton holding the door for her tiny mother, Jo Schultz. I'd bet Jo was all of 5 feet when she stood up real straight, although Maud was a good 5 or 6 inches taller. "Come on in, ladies," I called, and headed that way instead. Jo, the former owner of my building, handed her wool coat to Maud and sank onto the bench. "Hi there, Robbie. How's my store?" She smiled, further creasing her lined face. She always wore her white hair in a bun on top of her hair, giving her an even more old-fashioned look than her almost 70 years would suggest. "It's good, and busy this morning, as you can see." I gestured behind me. "I'm sorry you'll have a short wait, Jo, but I'm glad to see you." I greeted Maud, too. "There are 2 parties before you. Breakfast usually turns over pretty fast, though." "Not a problem, Robbie. Glad you're busy." Maud, a successful local architect and Professor Stilton's wife, didn't look a bit old-fashioned. Barely a line showed in her face, even though she had a nearly 20-year-old son. Every time I'd seen her, her streaked chestnut hair was freshly colored and cut in an elegant layered style that fell between her ears and her shoulders. She slid out of a stylish cardinal red coat and hung it on the coat tree with Jo's. "It's looking real good in here," Jo said. She might look like an older lady, but both her mind and her eyes were clear and sharp. "You done a good job with the renovations, and I'll bet you're glad not to be involved in any more murders." "Whew, you can say that again." I shuddered inwardly at the memory of being face to face with a killer right here in my store at the end of November. "It's been nice and quiet for 3 months, and I'm planning on it staying that way." "Say, you ever get a chance to work on the upstairs like you said you were wanting to?" Dana dinged the little bell indicating an order was up. I swiveled my head in her direction and caught an annoyed look. Busy like we were, I had no business chatting up a customer, even if we were connected through this building. "Gotta run, Jo," I told her. "I'll catch up with you later." I ran my tush off for the next half hour, clearing, taking orders, and serving up platters of tasty, filling breakfasts. By the time I delivered an egg white omelet with dry toast and a bowl of fruit for Maud, and a half order of banana walnut pancakes for Jo, it was almost 30 minutes later, and the crush was over. 3 tables were empty, and 4 others already had their checks. "Whew! Sorry that took so long," I said, setting down their food. "Can I top off your coffees?" "No thanks," Jo said. "Please," Maud said. "I ought to take some to Ronnie. He's out ice fishing all day. At 19, did he think to take a thermos of something warm to drink? No, he did not." "That's one cold way to have fun," Jo said. "But he's my grandson. I expect he has a mind of his own, and right that he should." I helped him take his equipment onto the lake this morning when I dropped him off. You wouldn't catch me sitting on a bucket all day long, hoping to catch a couple perch or bluegill. Maud raised perfectly arched eyebrows and shook her head. "Jo, you were asking about the upstairs. I've been working on it this winter." I'd done all the renovations on the downstairs myself. My mom had had a successful business as an artisan cabinet maker in California and had taught me carpentry. When she died suddenly a year ago, the money I inherited from her, together with my savings from working as a chef in nearby Nashville, Indiana for the 3 years prior, had helped me buy the property from Jo. But I'd rather still have Mom alive. So far, I'm still in the demolition phase. Maud looked worried as she glanced at her mother. Jo seemed to shrink into herself, but she mustered a smile. "That's nice. I know you want to make the place into an inn." "I'm sorry." I cringed at my thoughtless